So welcome back, everybody, to another exciting MISA session. So last week, we got a chance to hear from Citrix and from two of our alums, Bruno and Daniel, that talked about sort of their experience, a lot of the tools and technology that Citrix was using, and then obviously some of the things that they're doing in their role, a little bit more on the sales side, but hey, you got to find what works for you and what's the best fit. And for some people, that's it. And for others, right, that's why we have all different types of positions out there. So tonight we have another great session, a very timely session as always, because it's never too early to start working on your career and planning and making sure that you're as marketable as possible. So we have our amazing College of Business liaison here for the Career Center. He's been coming and doing these sessions for, it feels like, since his first semester in, which surprisingly has been a couple semesters now. So he's getting a couple years under his tenure. He's been wonderful working with him through MISA. We've had a lot of great experience from students working with him through MISA, but outside of the sessions, to get their resumes updated, to just get overall just career advice, and obviously help with anything on Handshake. And we're really happy to have him as our liaison and have him here in the session. So without further ado, can we give a nice MISA virtual round of applause for our amazing College of Business Career Center liaison, Mr. Byron Knight.
All right. Well, I greatly appreciate it and can't thank you enough, Dr. Sweet. Dr. Sweet is one of my favorite faculty members to work with, to be honest with you all. I'm not sugarcoating that. A great guy, one that's always responsive, always looking to help assist the Career Center, and also you all as students. You can really tell that's at the forefront of his mission and everything that he does. So greatly appreciate you, Dr. Sweet. MISA is one of my favorite student organizations to work with as well. Your group is always organized. You all do not hesitate to seek out any assistance or help that you all may need, in understanding that I am your friend. And so, I have countless stories of different members who I've met with, in individual sessions, who have called, meet me here in this session. So it's always a pleasure, but just wanted to thank you all for the time to speak with you all today. So today, just to change it up, because, I do get a chance to speak with you all every semester. I want to, we're going to briefly talk here about preparing for virtual fairs. I don't know if you all have attended, the ones that we've had earlier this semester, but we also have a STEM fair that's coming up here in the first week of March, I believe. And so we'll talk briefly about that, making sure that you all understand, what you need to do in order to be prepared for that. But then I also want to talk briefly about something relatively new that I want to make sure that you all are aware of, that I think could be beneficial for you all, and that's micro internships. So we'll talk about some of those resources throughout this session. If you have any questions regarding anything, it doesn't even have to be the material that I'm covering. Please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to support and assist you all. So whatever you all may need assistance with, I'm certainly here to help. All right. So with that being said, for anyone who hasn't visited the Career Center, I just want to briefly talk about some of the resources and opportunities that you all have to meet with us. So the first would be if you all are thinking about changing a major, if you're thinking about or getting a better understanding of what career options exist after you graduate, there's no time to better than to start thinking about and considering those things, as early as now, no matter what place or space you may be in currently. So we can have those conversations with you, making sure that we're able to kind of give you a better understanding of how you'll carve out that path or different things to consider that'll get you to that career goal. Next would be searching for jobs and internships, developing strategies, understanding, the different resources that are here before you, not only at the university, but also online platforms as well. And then obviously building a resume, cover letter, and supporting documents that you may need in utilization as you are applying to different opportunities. So we can assist you there, making sure you get that second pair of eyes, making sure you're putting your best professional foot forward. Next will be connecting with employers through Handshake. which we'll briefly touch on. If you all have any questions about handshake, I'm more than happy to assist or to give a demonstration. My presentation isn't too long here today, but connecting with employers through handshake is definitely our avenue, our one-stop shop, everything career center related. So that's something we can also help you optimize your utilization of. And then applying to graduate school. Oftentimes, if anyone in this session has applied to a particular program, you may often need an essay of some sort to really be able to discuss and describe your passions and pursuits. So we are here to ensure and to assist you with that content, making sure that you're conveying that in the correct format, in the proper way. And then from there, making sure that you feel comfortable and confident being able to apply to that program with that essay or that letter that's necessary. And then last but certainly not least, one of my favorite items is preparing for interviews. And so we do have practice interviews, which you can do virtually, whether that's um, via Skype or Zoom. We can do those. We can do them over the phone. If you have an interview where you need multiple individuals, it's a group interview, we can simulate that for you as well. And so just so you understand, it's not always necessary just when you have an interview coming up, but if you just want to practice on your skills to ensure that you're prepared at any given moment, we can certainly help you there as well. So you can always schedule an appointment to meet with us at the career center, and that's from the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. We can do those either video chat on Zoom, or we can give you a phone call as well. We do have drop-in advising if you need assistance with something that's very simple and short, and we can do those between the hours of 1 to 4 Monday through Friday. And so what you do is visit our Career Center website, the Students tab, and then there's a drop-down that you will see that pops up, and it'll ask what you need help with. If you begin chatting during the hours of 1 to 4, we have people that can assist you for a same day appointment, if you will. All right. So wanted to ask, and you all can throw these in the chat or unmute yourself. What are some things you might do? Because we'll talk here briefly about preparing for fairs, but what are some things you would do to prepare prior to attending a virtual fair? Anyone? Don't be shy. Look up the companies that are attending. You're right on it, Raymond. Update resume. Absolutely right. Practice your pitch. Absolutely. Have questions to ask. Yep. See, I know this group is right on it every time. All right. Anyone else? All right. So as we made mention of, make sure that you're researching those participating organizations. Being able to do that, you can do that via handshake. And so on handshake, if you go to any of the fairs that we have going on, you'll be able to see all of the fairs for the semester, and you can see each individual organization that's set to attend. So oftentimes you can see exactly what positions that they're hiring for, or you can get a chance to also find out more about that particular company, visit their company website. You can also on handshake see reviews that other students have left about the organization. So this is key as we talk about having questions to ask as you attend these virtual fairs. And so really understanding, things that are relevant or necessary for you to know to understand if this is a great company for you or one that you may be a good fit for. So make sure that you're doing that research prior to. All right. As we mentioned, make sure that you've prepared that resume. Don't hesitate to come see us at the Career Center. Don't hesitate to contact me via email so that I can have I can have a look at your resume document. Make sure you're putting your best professional foot forward, making sure that you're illustrating, all of the skills that you have, and that you're ready to go to this virtual fair and feeling confident about your document and the skills that you're conveying. All right. We didn't make mention of, but definitely want to make sure that you all have technology working correctly. Make sure that internet connection is solid. You have video, you have sound, you have the proper camera angle, you have the proper environment, not too much noise. If you have dogs or animals, being able to put those away so they're not disturbing you as you may be speaking with an employer. Nothing, cluttered in the background. So make sure, if you can, you do have a empty background or something that's not distracting. And we'll talk here as well about some of the things you want to consider, that go along with the technology. All right. So understanding everything speaks. So as we talk about working with the technology hand in hand, making sure that you have eye contact and camera contact, understanding what that looks like. We do have a resource called Interview Stream where you can view yourself on camera so you can get a better understanding of what that looks like as you're practicing prior to attending a fair or any virtual networking event or a virtual interview you may have. Making sure that you have upright posture, you're keeping your hand gestures minimal, not necessarily in that TV box, but making sure that you're mindful of those things and always remembering to smile. Employers want to speak to someone who's pleasant, who's cheerful, and who can bring that disposition with them to work. All right. Also, can't stress this enough. Make sure you wear a professional outfit. Make sure you definitely keep the business up top, and whatever you have, down below, that's on you. But make sure at least, torso up is all professional. Neutral colors we would suggest: high neckline, fresh hair, facial hair. If you want to make sure that none of those hairs are unkempt. And that you take time to make sure as if you were in the actual fair in person. So treat it as such, so that you are giving off that professional aura. Minimal jewelry, make sure you don't have anything that's clicking or clacking around as you're talking, or, just in that virtual space as well. So a few things just to remember that I wanted to just kind of briefly go over in regards to preparing for the fair. All right. So as we talk about virtual career fairs, has anyone in here not attended any of the virtual fairs that we've had this semester? You can just write in the chat, me. Okay, Emily, you haven't attended one? Okay, cool. Thank you. Anyone else? I haven't. Me. Okay, cool. So just wanted to make sure it's not falling on deaf ears here. But we do for our virtual career fair. So something new that we've added, or the platform has added before. If anyone attended in the past, once we started, earlier in fall, when we first launched this virtual premiere, you weren't able to video chat with employers via the platform. Employers had to include a Zoom link if possible, in order for you to connect with them on an alternate platform. But now the platform does have built into it those video capabilities. So you do have the opportunity to speak with those employers one-on-one if they do have the capabilities and the manpower. So keep that in mind. That's why it's extremely important that you dress professional for the fair. So as you are attending, if they do decide to give you a call, you're ready. There's no doubt about that. All right. So we do, as I mentioned, have the Career in STEM fair coming up, Careers in STEM, which will be Tuesday, March 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2. So how these fairs work virtually, you'll want to go there on Handshake and make sure that you register, but also in that registration, you will see the link for Virtual Premiere, the platform. And so you'll want to create a profile. And so I'll talk about that and I'll show you all a quick video here. All right. So let me show you the video now, and then we can kind of briefly talk through these things. All right. Let's hope it all works with me. All right.
Hi, my name is Steve Edwards, and I'm going to take you on a quick walkthrough of what it's like to be a candidate at a virtual career fair and some best practices so you can make sure you land the career that you are looking for. First thing you are going to get is a link from the host of the event so that you can register. What you're going to want to do there is you are going to hit the register button. From there, you're going to put in your email address. Once you put in your email address, you put in your first name, last name. Make sure you upload your resume. If it is mandatory, put your password in and create your account. Each host may have some questions for you to answer. Answer those questions and then hit the register button. From there, this is going to take you into your profile. This is where you can upload a photo. You can look at FAQs and training, and then click onto your My Events. When you go to My Events, you're going to go into the lobby. From here, these are some example lobbies of what it's going to look like. It could be by industry, could be by location, or any other aspect. You're going to click on one of the boxes that's going to then take you so that you can now see all of the companies that are within that category. From there, you're going to click on one of the companies, and that is going to take you to the company's hiring room. When you're in here, you're going to see a couple blue tabs. The first thing you want to do is click on the organization bio, see exactly what the organization does. Then you're going to click on the job vacancies. This is where you can view the details and submit your resumes. From there, when you're done with that, you're going to want to click on one of these 3 blue tabs that are here so that you can learn a little bit more about the company. Then you're going to want to hit the chat button. You can start a chat with these organizations to ask them questions. Don't just ask them what job you're hiring for, because you can see that in the job vacancies. Ask them in little detailed questions. Example would be, I just submitted my resume to your X position. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, or what are the next steps? When your chat pops up, you're going to see here there's 3 organizations. A company may be busy and can't get right back to you then, but you could go into another room and they can still chat with you. So you do not have to wait in a long queue. You can go directly and chat with as many as you want. If somebody wants to take you to a video, they're going to send you that link, and then they're going to be able to make sure you hit the allow button, and then your video camera is going to pop up. So from the team here at Premier Virtual, I'm going to welcome you to the Premier Virtual platform, and good luck.
All right. So as I made mention, definitely wanted to show you all that so that you all understand exactly how the platform works. You want to make sure that you update and you create that profile prior to the fair. As I mentioned, you'll see that on Handshake as you're registering for the event. On that same page, you will see the link to Premier Virtual. So go ahead and create that profile. So the day of the event, if you're attending this STEM fair, you can just jump right into the fair. You have your resume already uploaded. And from there, you can begin chatting with those employers from the hours of 10 to 2. For anyone who hasn't attended, you can drop in to the fair during any time during those hours, which I think makes it relatively neat. You don't have to worry about coming to campus. You don't have to worry about, bringing things with you. You can access this from wherever you're at. So as we made mention of, you'll select where you're attending. There's different lobbies that you can select. If you all were definitely listening, if you're going in there and you're talking to an employer, you can, if you've chatted them and you haven't heard back yet, simultaneously, you can go into another lobby and begin chatting with another employer. And so whenever that other employer gets back to you, it will come to you via a chat. So allows you to engage and network almost as if you were in person, getting a chance to talk with multiple employers. And so, that is something I wanted to make sure you're aware of. All right. Talked about the booth. We talked about chatting with employers. As Meg mentioned, once again, this fair for the STEM fair is on Tuesday, March 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2. We have a few other fairs that are occurring this semester. However, I don't think they may necessarily be to your interest, but this is the remaining schedule for spring 2021. All right. So I do want to show you all here and talk about micro internships, because I know I got probably about 10 to 12 more minutes. So really wanted to make sure I shared this with you all. This is something relatively new that we've just launched this partnership in the last few months. So the university, we now have a resource that other universities utilize as well, but it's called Parker Dewey. And so what it really allows you to see, yeah, that's the name of the company or organization, Emily. But Parker Dewey, they have micro internships. And so employers are able to post opportunities, which are pretty much projects that they have for you to be able to do. And obviously, I think most of them are paid, but you can find out further information. I know a lot of the times we get caught up on having internships or part-time jobs in the field, but this is another avenue for you to get some type of experience or learning opportunity, be able to actually tangibly touch items and do things where you can share and demonstrate, to employers, with a portfolio or being able to document that on your resume. So another avenue that I want to make sure that you all are aware of, which I'll quickly go over here. All right. So what is a micro internship? It's projects that can range from anywhere from 10 to 40 hours in duration. Each project has a fixed rate of pay and expected amount of time to complete. So similar to those given to interns and new hires, the biggest difference normally here is that your period of time isn't going to be as long, but you do get those hours and it is paid opportunities. All right. All industries are hosting micro internships. And so I'll show you here momentarily exactly how you can access this. All right, anyone who's at least 18 years old, graduate students, recent graduates, student athletes, students working full time, students who are very busy, international students with appropriate work authorization. So, this is pretty open here at this point. All right, here are a few samples, in regards to sales, marketing, HR, and finance. But I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like here. All right, so you'll create a profile. So to show you exactly where you go to do such, make sure that y'all listen very carefully to my steps. All right, so if you go to our Career Center webpage, fau.edu/career, and you follow the Students tab, what you'll see here on your left-hand side, we can go to micro internships. So you click there, and from there, you be able to apply. And so you'd have to create a profile, which I did earlier. And so from there, you can look for different opportunities. The only thing is, to be honest with you, and hopefully they change this, you can't filter opportunities based on like keywords or anything, but you can filter based on state, if it's remote, things of that nature, and then you can add it to your favorites. So this is something you may want to check, relatively periodically. And so getting a chance to see what type of projects are, available that you can apply to and possibly begin working. So just wanted to show you all this, and give you all a better understanding of what it looks like. So you'll be able to click here for details, find out a description of that particular opportunity. You see how many hours it is, what the pay is, what type of skills they're looking for. And then from there, being able to apply for that potential project. So just wanted to show you exactly how you access it. And now I'll kind of talk through some of the other considerations for it.
Byron, do you usually do like a regular interview process with this as well?
Yes, so for Parker Dewey, yes, they can call you for interviews. It's really up to the company and organization how they conduct those. If it's like one, if it's two-step, but it's up to the organization that is hiring for that project.
Okay, thank you.
Great question. All right, so make sure that you do take time to create the profile. Employers can see all of the information that you leave here, so you can upload your resume, any other supporting documents. Make sure that you're adding experience, education, much as a LinkedIn profile or your handshake profile. And then you can add affiliations, add MISA on here, any other organizations you may be a part of, so that employers can see that you're a holistic student and all of the other things that you do definitely have an interest in as well. All right. We just talked about this being able to review those. So you'll be able to pull these up, see that job description, and then go ahead and apply. And then as you see for some of these, you may even have to answer a few questions before you submit your application. So like here for this example, they have, why do you think you would be a good fit for this position? Do you have any examples of your design work that we can review? If so, please provide a link or let us know if you've uploaded them into the Parker Dewey profile. So as Meg mentioned, you can update any projects or items that you've completed in the past to your profile so that employers can view that as you are applying to different micro internships. All right, so the employers do on their end get to see your name, your picture, obviously the university, your degree and graduation date. So make sure that you do take time to fill this out. Some of these questions, don't just pass them on or write, not applicable. Take time to fill this out because all this information can be seen, so that employers do feel comfortable hiring you to complete a project. All right. And as May mentioned of, making sure with these questions that you really take your time, that you're not just bull jiving them, because, these are the small things that can set you apart, with your application. So, as I mentioned, want to make sure that you all are aware of this, as a potential opportunity, especially I think given MIS, sometimes there may not be a lot of opportunities you're finding available, but I think this is a potential opportunity for you to find something tangible to do, and that you can add to your resume and your professional experience as well. All right. Other tips, make sure you read the descriptions, make sure the project fits your interest, availability of time, and your skill set. And, make sure that you understand with any and every job opportunity, whatever it may be, that it's a two-way street. Like, yeah, you may need the opportunity, but also understanding if it's a good fit for you at that organization and ultimately what they're looking for you to do given their description. So make sure you read these things carefully. You do proceed, with an understanding of what they're looking for and how you may be able to attribute to that. Right. And then once you've been selected, you'll be connected with the company. You can reach out to faculty and staff, connect with alumni. As I mentioned, we have resources on our website. Parker Dewey will send you kickoff materials. So you can contact the employer, whoever that contact person may be. You'll get accounting forms, so you make sure, ensure that you get paid, terms of use, all of that good jazz. You'll get paid once your project has been completed, and you'll get paid by Parker Dewey. So keep that, definitely in mind. I know that's extremely important. And if you do need help, Parker Dewey is ready to assist students, recent grads, and employers as needed. They have their own team there with the platform as well.
So Byron, I know we had a question in the chat, and I think it kind of relates to what you were talking about there. What's the time frame for a recent graduate to participate in the program? So I guess if someone, let's say they're going to be graduating this semester and they're like, hey, I haven't found a job yet, maybe I could do this micro internship. Do you know if there's any sort of restrictions on current student or, X number of months after you graduate that you would qualify?
No, it's a great question. But no, there isn't. One of the bare minimum is, being 18 years old, a graduate student or a recent graduate. So I would probably say, as we're talking recent, that you'll at least most likely get a year, 2 probably at max, if that. But I think for at least for that full year, you'd have an opportunity to still apply to these. And it's going to be dependent upon the organizations as well. But great question, Raymond. All right. Also, once you have completed your project, make sure that you are, or as you're completing it, make sure you, obviously do a great job. You recheck your work. If you do have kind faculty and staff such as Dr. Sweet, who can review or have share their opinion with you on your particular project, that can always be helpful. Make sure that you're setting milestones, that you're setting goals, in accomplishing that project, whatever it may be, that you have your own timeline so that you get it done on a, a timely basis. Also, your representation of FAU. And I'm not going to go as far as to say Dr. Sweet, but, MISA, MIS students. So, make sure you do your thing. You do it to the best of your ability. You communicate effectively with the supervisor or the company that you're working with. Ask questions. It is an opportunity for you to learn, but for you to also to produce things. So make sure you're on the same page with that employer, and make sure you're understanding what they're looking for you to do, and ensure you know exactly what they are expecting. Once you do complete the project. So it's a few suggestions there. Employers get a chance to give you feedback once you completed the project, so that gives you a better understanding of ways you can improve for the next project you do. And then after you completed the project, which is the biggest thing here, is being able to outline your accomplishments, being able to market that on LinkedIn, being able to add these things now to your resume, to your virtual portfolio, understanding what you enjoyed about the experience. Is it the type of organization that you could possibly see yourself working at? Is it a company that you want to continuously network to see if they have other opportunities available? So the sky's the limit with these things, but just wanted to make sure that you all were aware of micro internships and the possibilities that exist there. All right. Boom, boom, boom. So you may mention, get started today, upload that resume, upload any additional documents or projects that you have, and begin applying. So how I'm doing on time, Dr. Sweet?
You're right there. I mean, in terms of if you wanted to transition to Q&A and kind of see where everyone's at with specific questions or that piece.
Yeah, so that, as I mentioned, that's the presentation here today. If you ever need assistance, don't hesitate to send me an email. to give our office a call or on Handshake to schedule an appointment. But at this time, as I mentioned, I'm open to all questions. I'm here to support and assist you. So any questions that you have, regardless if this is, related to all of the items that I went over here today, or, a particular situation, your resume document, whatever it may be, don't hesitate to ask. I'm all yours for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So, please make the most of the time.